I'm outside of the UQAM Gaza Solidarity Encampment, or as they call it, the Université Populaire Al-Aqsa de l'UQAM. In the last week and a half since this Gaza Solidarity Encampment has opened, this encampment has been threatened by the police with being raided. A protest nearby has experienced police violence, and the encampment is now undergoing an injunction in the courts. This injunction put forth by UQAM itself doesn't seek to have this encampment removed, but it seeks to have this encampment abide by specific conditions. Some of these conditions include that this encampment cannot have walls, structures cannot be less than 3 meters away from any of the buildings, and it can't block any of the entrances to UQAM. UQAM rector Stéphane Pallage threatened this encampment with an injunction earlier this week.
Now an injunction has been brought forth, and the hearing for the provisional injunction is currently in the courts.
A recent pro-Palestine demonstration hosted nearby the encampment on Monday ended in brutality from the police.
The protest on May 20th intended to take over parts of Place des Arts in solidarity with Palestine.
But they were instead met with riot police who tear gassed them and forced them to retreat. I was actually inside of the encampment receiving a tour when this demonstration happened, and I saw the aftermath. Many activists ran into the encampment. Some were pouring milk in their eyes to alleviate the effects of tear gas, and another protester said that he was punched in the face by a police officer and suspected that he may have had his nose broken. At the time, I saw drones flying overhead and police officers establishing a presence around each exit of the encampment.
The Service de Police de la Ville de Montréal said that they do not comment on particular police interventions, in order to prevent any influence on a possible judicial, ethical, or disciplinary process. The SPVM added that if a person felt harmed during a police intervention, they can file a complaint with the SPVM or an independent body.
I received a tour at both McGill's Gaza Solidarity Encampment and UQAM's Gaza Solidarity Encampment. Both encampments are quite similar to one another in the sense that they house numerous tents. They even have specific tents such as a medic's tent, and they accept donations from the community. Unlike McGill, UQAM says that it does not have ties with Israeli companies. But students within this encampment says that UQAM supports Quebec opening an office in Tel Aviv and has ties with Israeli universities. UQAM denies these ties, but did not respond to the request for comment on its support for opening an office in Tel Aviv. UQAM was recently called out on X by Israel's Consul General Paul Herson, who lives in Montreal. He says that UQAM is cowardice in their dealings with members of the encampment, or what he calls supporters of the Hamas death cult.
The hearing for the injunction is currently underway in the Palais de Justice in downtown Montreal.